This is my boss and the best colleague, Dr. Ron Shapiro. Thank you for watching our surgery in the clinic. I appreciate it. Could you give me your impression about the surgery? Because your impression is totally different from the others. I follow you. So could you please?
Yes, I'd be happy to. First of all, I'd like to thank you for inviting me. First of all, to the conference and everything.
Yeah.
And mention that yes, it's interesting to see your surgery after all these years, because you were one of the first people to visit me. Probably back in.
Oh yeah, first people.
One of the first people to visit me.
Wow.
One of the first, way long time ago. And then you actually did a surgery, so you got to see the results, and I know how much you appreciate, like that. And you came back and you continued to, try to improve your technique and improve your technique.
Yeah,
but I don't think I ever actually. I saw your results, which I thought were great, but I never actually got to be in your office. So it was sort of interesting for me too.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, finally, it was great, and it was good. It was sort of what I expected. I mean, basically, you've done everything I've done, and modified it to make your own.
Yeah, modified.
So it's not the exact same thing, but it's the same, but you put your own things on it, which are good, and I think better for the Asian population too, which is important.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go through the steps, when I first came in, in fact, I asked you how you're doing your nerve blocks.
Nerve block.
Yeah, because that's so important for the patients not to be painful. We have our ways, but it was, I wasn't using this.
Yeah.
I always learn when I go to other people. So your anesthesia is good. The patient totally painless.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to use some of the things that you do back here and up here.
Yeah.
And then your extractions.
Extraction.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people do
extraction. The donor harvesting.
Yeah, the donor harvesting, taking out
the
FUEs. That is something that people do differently, and it's very important for the survival of the grafts.
Yeah.
First of all, I used a punch that was not a big. It was a 9.0, which is I think it's the people that are doing the good work are 9 to 1. So you're doing a 9.0 punch.
Yeah.
Then you also, a lot of people, and I think Jean Devois who pushed this, you have to be able to tell whether or not you're getting good grafts. And you had a person, every 10 grafts, they would tell you if it was transected, if it was this or that, so you could adjust and change.
Yeah.
Which, if you're not doing that, you don't know. And not many people, I mean, I do it in the beginning. Maybe every time I change an area, I'll do it again.
Yeah.
And then, and if it seems like it's getting hard, I do it again. But they were doing it every 10 grafts.
Yeah.
It was like amazing. So that's very important. So that makes the quality
Thank you.
of the grafts very good.
Yeah.
And the quality of the grafts were good. Yeah. And of course you did the whole thing with separating all that. So donor harvesting was great.
Yes. Also, before donor harvesting, all patients we make the grids.
Yes. Oh yes. Yeah. I like that too. You to be sure to And in fact, I took a picture. So I could do that, because there's different ways of sort of getting the area, because you want to make sure you get the right amount.
Yes.
And that's going to depend on, everybody has a different density and that, and a lot of people just go at it irregular, but you drew a picture.
Yeah.
And you divide it into sections, and then you divide the sections into centimeters. Yeah. And you took a section of each one, so you knew what their done was, which is what I teach, and what the good people doing FUE do.
Yeah.
And that way you can make sure you only take the right amount without over harvesting. So that was very good.
Thank you. To the reason why I asked you a long time ago, I want to be more precise with you. Do more precisely. Your advice is you should write down the grids. Also, you check the density, and I'm doing following your advice.
Yes. Well, that's very critical in FUE. One of the biggest problems is that people are over harvesting, or they don't know how much the donor is. You don't know how much donor they have. You don't know what you can do. It's one of the things I preach. And some people do it, some people don't. And the people do it different ways.
Yeah.
And there's some there's not one right way, but I've never seen it as specific. I mean, most people don't go quite as specific as you. Most people just get an average, or maybe take one density, one spot.
Yeah.
So you're very precise in that. I think you do more than the average person to measure that.
Thank you.
Yes.
And how about the graft preparation? I mean,
yes.
divided.
Well, the other thing that's important is to make sure that the grafts are the right size, trim, not too much tissue. Because you use a nice small punch, they're already pretty good.
Yeah.
But for me, and I see a lot of places where they just lump all the ones together and all the twos and threes together. They're ones, twos, and threes, and they put them in, so you know exactly how many. They put them in a special cup with 50, 50, 50, 50, so you know exactly how many you have. Plus that's another step. This is something else that Jean did, is that, I mean, as you're taking them out, you're not only having them tell you how you're doing so that you can change, but you're also evaluating yourself, because they tell you exactly. They don't just put one haircut. This is three that had two. This is three that, and to see, because if you're having a lot of transection, then you know that you have to change something, and you know what. So and obviously you didn't have that many, but they had a list of that. You saw a little graft, and so that's good. And that's something many people don't do. I mean, I do it sometimes. To be honest, I get lazy and I don't do it. I don't know if you're doing it because I was there, but you did it, and that was very good.
I'm trying to pass. Next, how about the design and street making?
Well, the design of the hairline was perfect. You know, I thought it was great. You know, and I like the fact you used a white pencil, and then you did the different lines, and then you yes, that was very, very good. And the way you did the angle was very good. Couldn't be better. And it was, like I said, which for the Asian population, which was good, but in a way that I think is definitely the way it should be done. And then the slit making, you know, I usually use slits made from razor blades, and you were using slits made from razor blades.
Same one.
Actually, a little different in some respects. I cut my own, but there's a type of razor blade that's thinner. It makes even a finer slit. It's so sharp.
I know.
And I tried to cut those, but they're harder to cut. But they're a little more expensive, but you can buy them. And I realized when I looked at them, I said, gosh, are those the thinner ones? And you said, they are. Those are the ones from this one company. Only one company makes them. So those are very good blades. And they're very fine. And I think when you make those slits, that's when you can get in between the hairs, and when you can transect the hairs, and when you can also, you have different sizes, so you can adjust them. So that's a very fine way. They can be harder to place if you're not skillful. But if you can place them, you can make the best pattern. So I thought that was good. So I was impressed with that.
So how about my both hand technique?
Well, my dad was ambidextrous.
Oh yeah.
He was. He could play the. I wasn't gifted.
I was gifted maybe from your father.
It's so good because obviously people who do hair transplants know that placing or doing things, you're better from the right side. And so lots of times when you want to go around, it's hard because you have to reach. And so what I do is I change my position. I turn the head so I can do it everywhere.
Make it big.
I make it so you have the proper positioning. But the people that can do it from the left side, we want techs that can place from the. If we see a left-handed tech, we go, oh good, we hire them. And when a physician can do both, that means they have the ability to be faster, quicker, like that. So that's a skill. I don't know if you were born with that or you just trained yourself, but that's a skill I wish I had.
Okay, maybe this is the only one thing I can do better than you.
Yeah, I can't do it. I mean, I tried because I thought it would be nice to be able to use my left hand for things, and I thought it would be good. So I try, and I say, forget it. I'm good this way. I'll just do it that way. So
during surgery, I was thinking that the first time I visited you, I remember that. So I was so surprised to see your whole operation surgery, and then now maybe almost 20 years left. then
Yeah, later.
you can,
Yeah.
and you were observing
Yes.
my surgery.
Yeah, and it was if I was a beginner,
Yeah.
I could appreciate how good it was
Mhm.
because I know if I was a beginner, I would want to learn that technique. There's one other thing though that you did that was very good. That this is the most important part.
Yeah.
The most important part, and most doctors don't even know how to do, is placing.
Mm-hmm.
Because placing to me was the one thing that caused the most trauma.
Yeah.
And you can place with forceps, you can place with planters, you can place with all these things like that. Most people, doctors never place. They just have assistants they hire.
Yeah.
So they don't even know if it's good or bad. But you can place yourself.
I love the placing. So because I watch you doing that.
And it's such a fun thing. It's so important, the angle, direction. And your girls were good, so you have good staff. But what I really liked, and this is something I might change because of coming here, because I love placing. I can place with forceps, buddy technique, planters. So that was good too. That was good. So the procedure was very, very good.
Thank you.
That patient's going to be very happy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. From now, I still following you because you are the best surgeon.
I was the first, but there's many great surgeons.
No. There's one thing.
Yeah.
You made this method, hair surgery.
Yeah.
Before you, yes, there was surgery, but you made, preciseness, and you made. I think this is just my opinion, but you made hair surgery gonna be scientific thing. You wrote textbook and anyway.
But you know what? I think one other thing that's important, and this is the difference between.
Yeah.
I went into this. You know that I went into this. I wasn't planning on going into this. I was going to do cardiology. I went into this sort of because I started doing it by accident, and then I really fell in love with it. And for me, doing those other medicines was just so not rewarding. This was such a when you can do what you can do and what I can do, and you can do all those parts, and you can really help a patient. That's the fun part. It wasn't a lot of people go into it now just for the money. And I can tell from the way you do and stuff like that. So, I really, it's not about the money. And that's a problem.
I following not only the method and the thing,
and I can
also
I
follow your behavior and the thinking. So we are best friends, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And best friends, colleague, and I think we're very alike.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can edit that. Okay, good.
I'm visiting you. I will visit you in the distant future.
Yes.
Okay. This video is almost finished.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Take care.
Yeah.